dare you?
So, Greasy Gordo?
Yo, Greasy Gordo.
What the hell is fucking Greasy Gordo?
So, whenever, again, it goes back to my family not telling me about, Spanish shit. So, whenever I was a little kid, like, I never responded to Max. So, they called me MJ. And when I didn't respond to MJ, they would call me Gordo.
Yeah.
And so, like, I never really responded to my real name whenever I was a kid. So I responded to either Max or Gordo. And I didn't know until I literally learned at age 14 what Gordo meant. I didn't know until that. So until
Holy shit.
Right around 14 is when I started to really fucking hate my mom. Everyone goes through that stage of like, fuck you, mom. Like,
yes.
Just fuck you. And that was whenever that started for me. It was whenever I learned. My family was calling me fat ass my whole life.
Wow, fuck.
And I didn't fucking realize that. And the greasy part was whenever it comes to the white girls, right? So like whenever when I established myself as an adult in Grand Prairie, I started buying myself the better bacon, like the good bacon, and I would make it, and like I would just be so fucking happy that I wouldn't let it drain. I would just like put it right from the pan onto my shit, and I would just go. I'd like beat off real quick, and then I'd eat, and then I'd fall asleep. I'm sorry. I know I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But like, there would be leftover plates of like, bacon grease and because I ate a lot of breakfast food. There was always like little plates of bacon grease and shit left. That would be the only thing left over. So one night I had this fat white girl over and we were about to fuck and I had no lube and she had like the driest asshole in the world. So I was thinking about like, what can I use this fucking lube? And I just grabbed a little glob of that bacon grease.
Fucking way.
And that's when I started calling myself Greasy Gordo. That's like right around the time I started like writing jokes, like right around that time.
That'll do it.
And that's
a little bit of lard here.
So you slashed some fucking grease on that pussy and you fucking went.
No, her butthole.
On her butthole.
The butthole.
My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
That's okay.
I was thinking we were fucking sanitary.
No. This was before eating ass. This was whenever we were just banging ass.
You sat it right on her asshole and then you fucking went balls deep.
It went pretty better than I expected.
You know what?
Because I expected her to like, because I didn't tell her. And it like, we're both fat. So like, we got body warmth and it like, when the bacon grease is cold, you can't really smell it. But when it's warm, like, you can smell it in the air. And I thought she was, she's fat. I thought she was going to call me out on it. But actually like it made her hungry afterwards.
Yeah.
So like it was fucking great. Like it was a really good night.
In the kitchen right after for you.
This man smells good.
Yep.
This man smells good to me.
Who's making bacon?
Like,
that's how the Greasy Gordo thing happens.
about food.
But
you got a place where I can get that shirt?
Huh?
You got a place where I can get that shirt?
I'm working on it because I've had more positive responses about the shirt than I have like my actual comedy because my comedy is so fucked up that people are afraid to tell me like, hey, like you were really cool. Like, the people that do tell me like, they're great. But like there's so many people I see in the audience that are just like, they hide their laughing because they're afraid. Yeah. Like the comedy is universal and it's okay. Like, it's fine. You can fucking laugh.
Absolutely.
But like,
it's the thing that heals, man.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. I told you about how it healed me. Like, that's
I mean?
100% true. Like, it really fucking is.
It saved you.
I believe that.
You might have committed suicide or some shit. You know what I mean? And that's
what were you asking about? What were you saying?
Just about where I can get the shirt.
Oh yeah,
what is that? What is that? By the way,
This is supposed to be me in the form of a burrito.
yeah.
So like
high as fuck.
The idea of Greasy Gordo happened, when I was telling you about all that. But I originally sold food in Deep Ellum.
Oh really?
Okay.
That was the original concept for Greasy Gordo. I got tired of being fucked over in kitchens.
Yeah.
Just I got screwed over by one too many white bosses and was just like, fuck you guys. And I left Bar Louie in Arlington. And I was traveling this is whenever I was living with another white girl and her dad in Garland. And I was traveling from Garland to like West Arlington for a job that fucking just completely screwed me on my hours and all that shit. They just didn't care about me, even though I was like one of their only cooks that stuck around and knew the whole kitchen.
That's how it be, man.
They thought that because I was a pushover and like, took what hours I could get that they could like, like basically what happened is I showed up for my shift at 5:00 in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. And battling like 2 hours of traffic to get there just to find out they canceled my shift so they can train somebody new. And they didn't call me, they didn't tell me, they didn't email me, and I was just like, all right, fuck you. They knew how far I lived. And I was like, fuck you guys. And I was just like, and what's really funny is that when I showed up, like the new trainee, like just fucking bailed. They were like, fuck this, I'm not going to do this. They signed up for a job they couldn't hack. So they didn't have anybody to do it. And I was like, nah, man, fuck you guys, I'm out. And so I went home and I made like, I don't know, like 100 tacos. And I went out to Deep Ellum and I had them in this like bag that kept them warm. And I was just yelling at people, I got tacos. Who's fucking hungry? Because they're a drunk crowd. And I sold out in like 30 minutes, maybe in an hour.
Holy shit.
And that's where like, you know, I guess I'd like to say Greasy Gordo was born.
Yeah, man.
Was whenever I started doing all that. And eventually.
Man. That's an incredible story though, man. You just fucking got the fucking spirit to fucking go out there and say, you know what? Fuck what we're working for anybody else. I'm gonna work for myself.
That's something that I had been thinking about for so long because like I had spent so much time cooking for all these like white women that didn't appreciate the food, and it felt good, like, you know, just going out there and like, because whenever you're working as a line cook, you don't see the people's reaction to the food. And whenever I was out there selling my tacos on the street, I would see people just like fucking coming in their mouth, like, you know, as they were eating my shit. So it felt so good.
Hell yeah.
And like doing that and landed me a spot inside a bar in Deep Ellum. So I was slinging my food out of a spot called Wits End in Deep Ellum.
Yeah.
It's like right on the corner of it's like Ellum and Crowdis in Deep Ellum. Right, the busiest section of Deep Ellum. Well, they have this little like taco truck that kind of looks like it's coming out the wall. And they didn't have anything in there for the longest time. So whenever they saw me like hustling outside, they offered me that spot. And so I started the Greasy Gordo truck there. And COVID kind of fucked everything up for me. Yeah, COVID fucked everything up and ruined everything. Like just the bar was going through a phase of like, you know, transitioning the bar into like a better state. They were cleaning and doing all kinds of things because Wits End was known as like, you know, like a stoner bar, like a grimy like metal bar, and I love that place. It's a fucking great place. Yeah. But like, you know, it's the place where people went to smoke weed on the rooftop. Sure. So it was like, you know, like it was kind of dirty, but like that's what people went for. It was like a dirty bar. It was like a place where like you might catch an STD at, like, you know, that kind of shit.
Isn't that where they have the like the pentagram on the side of the wall?
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
I know. I always smoke weed up there.
Yeah, exactly. So you know what I'm talking about. Like, you know. So
it was great.
Yeah. So I was the little fat dude selling tacos in that little truck when you would come down.
Awesome.
And yeah, so I was doing that and COVID fucked everything up. Yeah, and we had to part ways, and you know, we're still cool and everything. And I actually ended up doing my first non-open mic comedy show there. And the whole time I was just like roasting like the employees, and I roasted the owner as well. And I guess he didn't fucking like it. And I tried going back to that bar to buy some Coke, and I got banned. I got fucking banned because somebody got their feelings hurt because of the jokes I made. And I was kind of being a dick to the security guard about it. She was being a real bitch. She's fat as fuck, and when she found out that I was like banned technically, like she was like, all right, get your fat fucking ass out of here, just like calling me a fat fuck. And I was like in my head, I'm like, dude, you're fat too, like what the fuck. So I just gave her like, you know, just some really mean like, you know, fingers, and I got pushed by a security guard. I almost went to jail for fighting him. Like it was a great fucking night. But like, you know, like after all that happened, I still love that place. Like, you know, it's a fucking great place. It's the place where my food baby was born. Yeah, man. And like, you know, I'll always have a soft spot for it. But absolutely. Yeah. After that, like I just started working around in kitchens and stuff like that, and I realized just how much I hated working for kitchens again after having a taste of my own freedom and my own thing. Like, you know, it just kind of sucked. So I quit another cooking job, and a year later I started doing comedy.
Wow.
I remember immediately after I quit my last cooking job, I started having problems with my left knee. Mm-hmm. So like, honestly, I wouldn't have lasted much longer anyway. So now like I can't do any regular kitchen work. I can't stand on my feet for like even just being up there for my 5 minutes doing my comedy. Like it hurts my knees and it sucks. Right. But like, thankfully I've got a fucking awesome girlfriend who supports me, and she pays for all my gas. She pays for everything. And like we live together and everything. But like, it's weird, like, thinking about the other comedians, because there's so many other comedians in Dallas who have like a regular job. And like, have something in their life other than just comedy. And like, I feel jealous because like, again, like I feel like a fat piece of shit. No. Like,
Dude, I'm sure they feel jealous.
They feel jealous of you.
Like, fuck, I gotta go to work and
maybe,
I gotta
you're killing it, man. Dude, from South Texas to being, fucking with a white girl that's fucking taking care of you and
being pampered.
Dude, you are living the fucking dream right
she's like a hairstylist too. So like, when I started to realize I'm going bald right here, started hooking it up with the haircuts and stuff like that. So she's a dream, but like,
oh hell yeah, dude.
She's a fucking bitch sometimes. Like, God damn it. Like, I love her to death, but like, fucking shit. She's 23 and I'm 30. And like, she gets pissed off when I tell her like there's differences, there's age differences, like there's things that you don't get. Like for instance, whenever I tried to call her because like this bitch is still on insurance. I'm not. She's fucking lucky she's still on her family's insurance. And I like, okay, so I'm going off on tangents. All right, so sorry. She fucking crumbles and cries because she had to get on the phone for like 10 seconds to talk to the insurance person that I had called and talked to for like an hour and a half already. That's how fucking fragile she is. Wow. She gets upset whenever I tell her like, I need you to like scoot in the bed because like, you're kicking me in the face. Like, just please do me that. Like starts crying. Well, she she cries for fucking anything and everything because she is an emotionally unstable chubby white girl. Yeah. Well. And that's my fucking poison. It's my fault, but like, fuck.
It's okay.
Oh my God, dude. Okay. Like honestly, to be completely fucking honest,
please.
That is what drove me to the point where I wanted to kill myself.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
So the
and
same
like
thing that you love is also gonna make you want to kill yourself.
I feel like if I really wanted to break up with her and just end it, I could just tell her that. Like, you almost drove me to suicide, but comedy fucking saved me. I'm pretty sure if I ever admit that to her, if she sees this shit, like she'll break up with me. She might. But like, yeah, man, like it's just, the definition of insanity is doing something over and over and over again, expecting different results like a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
that's me. I'm the idiot.
You know what? We've been through that though. We all been through that. So,
but like, I love her to death. But like, she needs to go see a fucking therapist.
Don't we all?
She refuses to go see because she's too scared. She doesn't understand that she's too scared because she needs to go see a fucking therapist.
She doesn't want to.
Oh my God.
She doesn't want to open up that Pandora's box. Maybe.
Yeah, it's so fucking frustrating. And then my dumbass 20-year-old brother lives with me, and he doesn't clean either. Like, he just adds to the mess, and so does she. And so like, I feel like a goddamn like just stepdad to like two of these retards, and one of them I happen to be fucking. Like, it's just like, what the fuck? I'm sorry, but like, yeah.
No, I understand, man. And no wonder you're such a funny comedian, man. Like, I think all that stuff that you went through, all that trauma has just...
That's
like
not even it. Like, I got molested as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awful.
I know it's awful, but like that, like, I feel like that is whenever I realize that like life isn't what it seems like. So like, just fuck it. Just fuck everything. Yeah. Because I got molested. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why like I was so like that was because like I was such a bad kid. I was already like masturbating and stealing porn by then. Yeah. So I knew what this dude was doing. As fucked up as this sounds, I already knew what this dude was doing to me. He was grooming me, and it wasn't just once. It happened multiple times. It happened a lot to the point where...
Was he close, like family or what?
No, he was my mom's boyfriend.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
That's
like,
fucked.
My mom saved...
How old were you?
I was like maybe when it started, I was like maybe 8, and it happened for like 2 years. Mm-mm. It got so fucked up to the point where like I let it happen if he would give me extra food, because that's how fat I was. Oh. Like I knew like what he was doing. He didn't tell me what he was doing. He called it cleaning. That's what he would call it, right? Piece of fucking shit. But like, you know, that's how fucked up he got me. Like he got me to the point where like, you know, I knew what was happening, but like it was okay in my mind because I was gonna get a snack.
Incentives.
Yeah.
Rewards.
But like, you know, honestly, like if that hadn't have fucking happened, like I wouldn't be who I am today.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fucking be so fucked up in the head to the point where like I tell people the most random crazy shit on stage and they question whether or not I'm crazy. And that's what makes me so fucking like, you know, happy, is that like sometimes a comedian will come on after me and is like, God, I can't follow Gordo. That's so fucked up. Like that gives me such an honor and a warm feeling that would obviously do the exact opposite to a normal human being. But like it just makes me feel so fucking happy. It really does. And like, you know, whenever I'm sitting there just laying on like this week, the Holocaust breath. Yeah. Right, that's my opener joke for this past week. Awesome. The joke is that like one of the comedians that I know said online, "What's worse than bad breath?" He's like, the Holocaust. And that was his joke. That's where he ended right there. Yeah. And somebody went on the post, was like, meh, 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 meh. Obviously he was a Jew. Yeah. You know, he got his fucking like, you know, yarmulke pissed on. Mm-hmm. But I went on there and I went a step further and I said, like, you know, in my opinion, like, you know, the worst thing about thinking about bad breath and the Holocaust is bad breath during the Holocaust. Yeah. I highly doubt they were giving these people any fucking toothbrushes because they were barely giving them any food.
I would hate that.
And then I went a step even further and I said, well, like, you know, I can only imagine like being like, you know, in Auschwitz, like trying to sleep next to the Jew with the worst fucking breath, going up to the guard and being like, I can't fucking take it. I can't take it anymore. It's so fucking gross in there. Can you, I would rather, can you take me to that room where all that hissing is coming out of? Not knowing that's the gas chamber. And that's again, like I get the dead silence. And that's when people are deciding whether or not they want to fucking laugh at me. And that awkward moment where like, I don't know in my head whether or not what I'm doing is wrong or right. Just gives me a fucking boner. Like it really does. Like making people feel awkward and making people feel weird. And I hope I haven't made you guys feel that way and like regretted inviting me. But like, yeah, that's where my drive for comedy comes from, is just being fucking weird, man.
Right
like,
there, tiptoeing that line, that edge, man. You're right there.
And one of the best things for me is like whenever I'm in public and someone sees that I'm fat and they're uncomfortable, like I'll just start lifting my shirt and just like feeling up on myself. Or if I see, like if I hear someone who's being homophobic, or like, you know, just gay bashing or whatever, I'll just like, you know, just pull up my shirt and go up to them and be like, so do you like, you hit me after this, or how does this work? And they're just like, oh fuck, and they're just like confused. Like, you know, I just love making people feel awkward. And like what gets me in trouble a lot is like doing it to my girlfriend, because like I just have no filter and like I fuck with her because she pisses me off to the point where I just don't fucking care anymore. And like there's been so many times where I just fuck with her so much where she's just like, all right, like when she puts her finger up in the air, that's whenever she does that white girl thing. It's just like boiling her brain. It's like, all right, I'll stop. Just like, you know, just okay, yeah, literally, yeah.
That's amazing, man, dude. Okay,
but yeah, it's my comedy comes from a culmination of like just living a fucked up life, being molested, like all kinds of just literally a fucked up life. Yeah. Like that's where all my comedy comes from. Well, and I think that's why I'm so comfortable with saying what I'm saying online, because like I'm not online, well online too. Like I get fucking like community standard bans like at least once a month.
Hardcore.
Yeah, it's bad. But I think the reason why like I'm so comfortable with saying that shit is because like I know like life can be way fucking worse.
You've been through the worst.
You've been through the worst. Yeah.
And it led me to like, you know, some awful fucking shit. Like whenever I went through that breakup that I was talking about, that I don't know, maybe that was another time. I'm fucking, it's gonna get real weird.
What? You went through a breakup?
I just finished that shot, so it's gonna be real weird.
Good shit.
I went through a breakup and yeah, see, I'm stupid. I really forgot what I was going to say. They just killed all my brain cells.
It's all right. Where can they find your comedy?
I'm on YouTube, Greasy Gordo.
Yeah.
And then you can find me on Facebook, Greasy Gordo.
Okay.
And then Instagram, Greasy Gordo. Where
Greasy.
you found me. It's all the same shit. Just Greasy Gordo.
Greasy Gordo. And I ran up on him on Instagram, and then I checked out his YouTube and stuff. You have a lot of funny stuff and a lot of fucked up shit on stage. Do you have any shows upcoming, or where can they find you?
Actually, on Wednesday,
Really?
It's 2 days from now. I've got my second showcase with Swimming with the Sharks at Dallas Comedy Club.
Oh, cool.
And it's a comedy club right on the edge of Deep Ellum.
Yeah, it's in Deep Ellum.
On Main, like right on Main and Hall, I believe.
Awesome.
And that's going to be in their big room, their bigger room where I think it's like maybe 200 people.
Yeah.
And
wow.
As far as like doing like shows like this where it's not an open mic,
Sure.
where not anyone can just show, you got to pay to get in. This is my third show like that.
Wow.
And that just goes to show you that like you gotta have like, it's kind of hard because like if you don't have like someone taking care of you like me, you have to put up the gas and the miles and the time and stuff like that to get out there and do this stuff.
Yeah.
And you may not even get a show. Like you never know.
Well, from what I know, to be a comedian, to be like a professional high-level comedian, like it takes years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely does. There's people out there that have been doing it way longer than me.
Right.
And they're just, the way that they deliver the jokes, they're just insanely better,
Really?
insanely funnier, and they're actually making money doing it. I've been doing this since January. I've made $5.
Really?
Yeah. It's like literally, it's like a long internship.
Yeah, it is.
So everything I've been doing besides those 3 shows I was talking about are all open mics. So you don't get paid for that stuff.
Right.
And I'm not at the point where I can be paid for shows. So like it's like almost like literally been like doing an internship.
It's a hard,
And eventually, like it either pays off financially or emotionally. Like maybe you feel more fulfilled.
Yes.
Or like you just I might have ended up killing myself if I had bombed that night. I don't fucking know. Like it's a gamble sometimes. Like it just depends.
Yeah, I think that's what you like about it. Also,
I do like that fact that I feel like kind of like a fish on like not like a worm, like being baited out there like a hook.
Yeah.
It just feels dangerous, like especially after the whole Will Smith thing. I feel like ever since, because when that happened, I was already doing comedy,
Right.
and I feel like that kind of pushed my envelope on like just in welcoming that kind of shit because like. Like lately I've just been so like, fuck you. I've gotten over that first high of comedy that I've gotten back to that morbid state of life where I just welcome like violence or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, fucking talking shit about people's kids on stage. Like, when the husband's right there, like, whatever. Like, I don't care.
You're going to get a viral moment and that's going to blow you up.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've got this idea for like a TikTok. And what it's gonna be is it's gonna be me dressed up like as like a pastor kind of, and I've got a Bible, and I'm like, okay, we got to do this, and then I do some kind of pitch, and then I open up the Bible, and it's like a vial of Coke, and then I do the Coke real quick, and then I walk up to like the people that are walking into like Sunday Mass, and I'm like, thank you for coming today, like the Lord blesses you, and then have like a little fake heart attack, like and then like die down, and then I've got like this like that booger retriever for the babies, I've got that filled up with Coke, not my real Coke, my powder, like my baby powder, and it's gonna explode. And you see me covered in dust. I just had a heart attack, and then like that's where I'm lost at that point. But like I'm surrounded by white people going into like an official God church, and like it looks very shady. Oh, yeah, but like that was my idea for my first TikTok video, and I'm trying to work on that.
An overdosed pastor.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
I can see where you might get some a backlash on that, but no problem. I say more power to you, and more power to him for real. Greasy Gordo, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, dude, absolutely, man. Thank you so much for having me,
dude. I hope you enjoyed the podcast.
My favorite fan. I love this little lady.
Yeah, the little girl.
Thank you for coming.
Man, yeah, man. So once again, they can find you at Greasy Gordo on all platforms, right? YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, it's all Greasy Gordo, yes, sir.
Hit him up, man.
Everybody go to his show on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Please come laugh at me.
All right, man. Taco Madre, like, sub, comment.
Thank you, Taco Madre.
We'll hit you up later. See ya.
Yes, sir.
How dare you? How dare you?